everything is right. All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come in and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, also known as the United Snakes, which is completely laid flat, knocked out, knocked the fuck out. I might have to kick one of these dogs when they come up, because I can already see that that's what's going to happen. I'm going to have to rise up and boot one of them. So, Salakia, apologize in advance if I have to do that. They're out of control. Anyway, we're the Hebrew Israelites. We come in and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great and these damn Edomites, right? To wake up the 12 tribes, the people on this sign. I don't have the sign, Salakia. 12 tribes of Israel. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Speckled Bird. All right? Get you to repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, and get back in order. Because there is no time left. We're at the very end of this thing, all right? So just making sure everything is right. All right? We face the east. All right? Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishop, the great millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right. Shalom. Still out here. Still got some work to be done. All right. But the elder Yashawamba, the one of the leaders, one of the heads of the Dallas camp, he did a little exhortation and he spoke on behalf of the brotherhood that is out here doing this, right? And he spoke for me. I'll say this. The words that he spoke on behalf of us all, I know he spoke on behalf of me. All right, so, and that's the spirit. You understand? And if you're not walking in the spirit now, right, you can't receive that comfort, right? Because the brother's just hilarious, right? I understand he's a bit of a stand-up comic. Shalom, who's that? Shalom, Isaiah Allah, the beloved brother. Shalom, I'm live. Call halal Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shem Kadash. To the brother, doing great out there, looking beautiful. He said, you know, he was speaking for us all, but for me, right, he's hitting the nail on the head. And you know, he said that that a man of the Lord right now, what he's going through, right, just on being tested in the spirit, right, along with everything else, right, as we move closer to this end. We know where it's going, but the tests are becoming more and more. And that's on the right hand, okay? So as things are ramping up on the right hand, getting more hard, getting more difficult for the men of the Lord, what the hell do you think is going on the left? Okay, all hell is going on. And we get a glimpse of that because we're going through that. We still got to go through this carnal hell with these idiots, but we got our own spiritual, right? Spiritual, I don't want to say dark cloud. She's getting them in the wagon there, lady. The spiritual dark cloud, right? Because in order to get to the light, you got to go through the dark to get to the light, right? In a manner of speaking. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We gotta get through, right? That dark cloud. We gotta emerge from the other side of that dark cloud, which is spiritual. Sluggy. 1 Corinthians 2. Bear with me. 1 Corinthians 2 and 14, you know where I was going. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, right? Oh, you have faith and you believe, you see the world is coming to an end, blah, 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 blah. And you going to the Sky Daddy, and right? Well, these are, that's a physical side. You got niggas to deal with, right? And their ilk, Esau, and of such. But then you got, the spiritual truth, which is, right, you're going to be tested to your limit. All right, so when the elder Yashawamba, said that brothers are, you can only imagine what they're going through, as opposed to somebody who's not being spiritually challenged. Okay? So here come them demons, here they come, All right, brother. But it felt good. That guy is a comedian. You understand? And he's hilarious. And when he'll be serious, right? Talking about what we're about to go through, and then he'll slide one under, right? So smoothly, it'll take you a minute to and then he just totally unarms you, right? And you appreciate that, and that's that comfort, right? And see, that's the thing, is we get that's a spiritual thing, that comfort, right? Because in order to get through what's coming, you're gonna have to be comforted. Everybody's gonna be looking for comfort, right? But the men of the Lord, you gotta be looking for being pushed to your limit. All right? You are not gonna waltz into no kingdom. Nobody is. You're gonna be pushed to your very limit. And if you don't see that, if you're not being pushed to your limit, here's what that means. It's coming. All right? Nobody's gonna skate through this. You be hoping and praying. When you pray, right? If you've been in this thing long enough, you know that what you pray for doesn't come the way you want it. So then you try to get smart, try to word it correctly, right? Like you're gonna outsmart the Most High. But those lessons, right, come from the fire. Ain't no hard lesson learned served up on no silver platter. That's not how it goes. The fiery furnace of adversity is where the wisdom is. In order to get the wisdom of not to touch the hot iron, what must you first do? You don't know shit until you got that remorse. Like this, oh shit. All right? So to think for a moment that you're not going to catch the same hell as these recalcitrants, as these pieces of shit that ain't gonna know, you're gonna catch that hell too. But you gotta take it. You got to man the fuck up Jacob, and knowing that That's the way. What's the example? Yahushua died, motherfucker. You're gonna almost fucking die. Well, I'm almost gonna die. Well, it's not until you almost die that you know that's the test. Like, well, I didn't almost fucking die. Well, that's not the test yet. It's coming. Right? Anybody that doesn't understand what we're coming into, just seeing it, just seeing what is going to come is enough. To know before it comes is comfort. Those that don't know that when it's on them, you ain't ready. You ain't no man. Right? We over here manning up. You ain't manning up right now. How? Manning up, boy. See, and they don't make men the way they used to. Anyway, this spiritual battle is won through spiritual wisdom. I'm gonna catch an ass whooping is the only way to win. You're gonna catch an ass whooping in one form or another unto death. Might be death like Yahushua, not below you. It's not below you to die in this thing. Motherfucker, that's the way first. But then if you don't die, you almost did. Because everybody else did. You died. You went through that shit, you were scared, and finally your ass died. Right? All you can hope for is, I went through hell, but I made it. I didn't die. That's the only way out. Everybody's going to be pushed through their limit. Everybody is going to have their own reality. This is what work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You're going to be ensconced, encapsulated in your own reality that only pertains to you, and the Most High knows exactly what buttons to push to fuck you all the way up. Now get out of it. Use the tools that I gave you to extract yourself from the situation that you're in. And if you pass, you barely passed. So to have that knowledge, that's what you're getting into, you're doing good. You're doing good. What does that come with? It comes with not knowing. It comes with knowing that you don't know, but you still know, right? And how do you know? We didn't get this far, you understand? We did not get this far by not knowing. See Jay get back to me, right? Just gotta be ready, knowing if you think, oh, the Most High got me, and He's gonna get me through this shit, and I'm gonna be untouched. You are gonna catch hell to the very brink of your life. If you're not ready for that, you ain't ready. Okay? Yahushua, what happened before they hung him and they killed him and then stuck him? What happened before all of that? They tortured him. They tortured the hell out of him. Okay? So there's, anything other than that, you're bitching up and you're being a punk. That ain't the example. The example is a hard one. Yeah, but through the blood, we get to escape. Boy, shit. Just seeing other motherfuckers catch their hell It's going to scare the shit out of you. Just that. But then yours is coming. 2 Ezra 14. It's a lot here. Trying to get to... And here's what's being said, okay? Right now, as Jacob's trouble gets turned all the way up, how are you to move? Okay, so this is 2 Ezra 14 and 13. Okay? Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Now here's the point, because it's going to keep saying the same thing over and over. And this is how you walk through Jacob's trouble, okay? This is how you obtain spiritual power, right? You have to train. You have to train. You don't just, it just don't come to it. The most I can do anything is just give it to you. But guess what? You got to exercise that muscle. Just like you don't become a great orator or a great speaker or a great man of the Lord overnight. It takes years, right? It takes a lot of work to become that. And what is that? That's exercising spiritual power. And then you get so good at it, right? From what? From doing it. Well, you ain't gonna fly until you rehearse your takeoff, okay? Otherwise, if you just got spiritual power, you could fly. Well, that doesn't mean you could take off. You might tear up some land, some terrain and shit until you figure that thing out. So why not? First, you have to think about it, and then how am I gonna? You know what I'm saying? Then you rehearse it after you think about this. So that starts now. And that's what this is saying. And listen to the sequence, okay? Now, therefore, talk about right now, because of what is coming, set thine house, get your ass in order, right? Number one, now, therefore, because of the time that we're in, set your house in order, reprove your people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and renounce corruption. And here it is. Let go from the mortal thoughts. Stop being a three-dimensional human being. You're undergoing a spiritual transformation into immortality that starts now. It doesn't start when you get on the chariot and your body is changed. It starts now. You train now for immortality now. We've been training for immortality now. We've been training for our governmental position in the kingdom. Okay? But the point being made, you start training now. You start walking in the Spirit now, so that in Jacob's trouble, yea, though I walk through the valley of the Spirit, you're doing everything through the Spirit because you worked on it. It doesn't just turn on. You have to exercise that and get good at it. I remember they used to tell me, oh, Spirit ain't dealing with you. What does that mean? What is it? For years I didn't, and I believed what the Spirit ain't dealing with you. And then slowly but surely, I'm like, oh, that's the Spirit. That's the Spirit. I'm like, oh, this nigga never had the Spirit. And then you develop a relationship with the Spirit, and then you're like, oh, okay, I see how this works now. The Spirit is dealing with, it takes time, it takes work, right? It says that you gotta develop a relationship, and at first she's gonna, and then little by little, she's gonna bring you, there's a process right? That if you don't understand the spiritual side of this process, the spirit ain't dealing with you. And this is crazy that it's 14 and 14. Second Ezra 14 and 14, which is 144, it says, let go from thee mortal thoughts. Guess what? Having spiritual power don't happen to no mortal. So you got to let that go. The chain, if you're going to get spiritual power on this side, guess what? Can anybody kill you if you got spiritual power? No. You're already there. Okay? You're getting a jump on those, you got spiritual battle to do on this side. Here's your spiritual power that you've earned, right? Let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. You're no longer a man. You're a superhuman. Okay? Put off now the weak nature. These bodies. Why? Because you're becoming an immortal. Okay? You're becoming a celestial, if you will. Okay? What does that have to do with? You're moving into these are spirit beings. You're no longer just a human like Esau. You're different from them. All right? So you have to do that now. What is it going to be like in the kingdom? Are Edomites going to get an upgrade in the kingdom? No. They're Corrigan out. They're Neanderthaling out. They're Neandering. You understand? Okay, it says 15. This is 2 Ezra 14 and 15. Set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Okay? You have to walk in the spirit to get through the valley of the shadow of death, which is these times, right? And you have to do it in the spirit. Okay? Spiritual thoughts. You can't. What does it mean to set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee? It means to cast away the burdens of man. Stop thinking like a human. Start thinking godlike, spiritually, right? Like you can manipulate the elements. The things that bind you to the earth, right? Gravity. You're able to overcome those things in the spirit through the manipulation of the elements and other abilities that the whole world is moving into, right? When they say, oh, the veil has been well, the spiritual and the physical are coexisting right now, right? And some of us are going to be able to move back and forth between the two and coexist. Okay? And what did I just say? Some of us are not. They're not going to be able to exist in the spiritual realm, which, because the veil has been rent or whatever, how is heaven going to be on earth without the spiritual element of heaven being on earth? You understand? So some people can't, the spirit ain't dealing with them, right? These Edomites. But yet here on earth, the spirit will be dealing with us, dwelling with us. How shall I dwelling with us? Okay, that starts now. We're welcoming, we're ushering in, we're cleaning up the town, getting ready, ushering in Yahushua. So we should be acting like we're going to act like in the kingdom. Okay? Able to coexist with Yahushua, meaning we have that spiritual element. Okay? If you're completely non-spiritual, how can you can't deal with Yahushua? This is what people, oh, we're all going to deal with this. No, you're not. No, you're not. Just like when Jake wanted to talk to the Most High and they set the whole thing up, and then Most High said, okay, get these niggas out. He starts to talk and the niggas run, whatever. Because they're not spiritual. Right? To be able to dwell with the Most High, right? Or the spirit of righteousness. So those that don't have that, how are they just going to come and congregate, right? In a spiritual setting where the spirit of the Most High and his Son dwell, all right? It doesn't make sense. So that's the way it's going to be in the kingdom. We are going to be those people, right, that are not going to taste death. Lord willing, we are those people. Some of them are going to not taste death, right? So they've already started. They're already walking in the spirit, right, that they're going to walk in the kingdom. Elder Apostle Tahar is not walking in the spirit? Of course he is. Right? And since some people don't have that capacity or never will have that capacity. All right? And that's simple. Anyway, the point being made here is this. Everybody's about to catch hell. Again, 2 Ezra 14:14. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these heavy times. So look, from these times, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. And that is the point. Okay? Now, just because you're walking in the spirit means that you get to escape those evils? No. Yahushua got to escape those evils because he's Yahushua. No. So you don't either. You got to take up your, what does it mean to take up your cross? It means you're going to catch that hell too. Okay? But you got to catch it in the spirit. Right? Now there are benefits to that. Right? Yeah, you're going to eat. Yeah, you're going to be fed and those things. But it doesn't mean you're going to skip your way into the kingdom. Because you got to go through the fiery furnace to be cleansed. You don't get cleansed by skipping your way like a punk into the kingdom. You got to get burned up and singed and beat down. Look at Yahushua. That's the way. Why? Because greater evils than these, put this together. Let's put this together, okay? 2 Ezra 14:16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Put that together with this. Matthew 20, 24 and 21. Matthew 24:21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. If you understand what that means, just that. And it's talking about now and what is about to come on the face of the earth between now and the next 2 years. And then go to greater evils than what we've already, oh, that shit's coming. How are you going to get through that? You're not. You're going to fucking perish. And if you do get through it, you're barely going to get through it because you were ordained to. You were ordained to what? Barely get through it. It says that. Scarcely be saved. Fuck it. What does that mean? See, niggas don't know. That means this. You better get ready to get trounced out here, because that's the only way out. Scarcely. Scarce, C-A-R-E or C, C-A-R-C-E. Scarcely be this phone L1. There it is. 1 Peter 4:18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, what does that mean? That means you're almost fucking gonna die just to be saved. Who's gonna? Okay, and if the righteous scarcely, who's the righteous one? The elect. The elect have obtained it. So the elect, the ones that, right, that were chosen from the foundation of the one that the Most High loves, just like his son, is going to take a straight beat down and crawl over the finish line. Why? Because evils are growing on the earth, right? More so than ever since the earth was created by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Right now. So we're at the time in all time that the worst shit is going to happen, and you got to go through it if you want to make it. Okay? And some people think pie in the sky, right? Somehow you get to escape what Yahushua went through when he's the example. So what am I saying here? Get your ass ready for battle. Okay? That's a war. Yahushua's fighting a war. Okay? He let them. He said, no, Peter, put that weapon down right now. Right? This is how you win this war. Put the weapon down. You're going to lay my life down. This is how you win the war. And if you don't understand it, see, a lot of niggas are going to be carnal. We got to go fight Esau. Not what Yahushua did. You know that dude was shook when Peter cut his ear off. He was, this nigga just cut off my ear. You supposed to be afraid of us. Like, you niggas ain't afraid? Yahushua said, wait. Peter, you're fucking up. Again, get thee behind me, Peter. It's not how you win this thing. This is for the win, man. This ain't for a wad of money in a Bentley. I'm rich. I got a wad of money and a Bentley. That's Yahshua, boy. Anyway, I'm gonna use a shitty analogy, right? In order to get anything, to get on top in this world, you got to go out and do some real crime, like the mob, right? The mob run shit. Why? Because they got their hands dirty. Guess what? In the kingdom, first of all, the saints shall what? First of all, the saints are going to go marching in. So if they're marching, that means that they're a troop. And if they're a troop, that means they're fucking an army. All right? So there's a fight. How do you win that fight? Well, it's a spiritual fight. How do you win the spiritual fight? Well, your example is Yahushua. Okay? This ain't just a physical fight. This is for all the marbles. We already won. How do you determine yourself to be of that number? Here's what we're doing. We're armed with the information that we already won. That's comforting. We're armed with the information. Yahushua is the way, so he laid down his life, he came back, he got the top job, right? That must be the way. Now, what we were led to believe, here's a stumbling block. Okay? Stumbling block, we were taught that, hey, don't die. Don't you go die now. That is, you should be scared of dying, right? We were taught that, and then we were woken up out of a sleep. But that's still on us. Don't die. So what is that? What does it mean that Yahushua defeated death? Well, here's what it means. I ain't afraid to die. Okay? Take up your cross means this. Look, dying is part of this battle. Look at Yahushua. That's how you win. Don't be afraid of death in this battle. If you're fighting, see, if you understand the rules, a death in the name of Yahweh Shem Shah in this battlefield is a win. At what point? Okay. Now, the stumbling block is, you don't want to die, nigger boy. But what about JC? JC died, right? Yeah, but he was white. So once he becomes, you're supposed to die for this thing? You're supposed to lay down your life for your brother in this war, knowing who you are. See, we didn't know, right? They didn't open up them graves so we would know, right? But now we do. And here we are. Here we are, out here, standing before the face of such as have afflicted us. But anyway, the point is this, okay? Get yourself ready for what? All right? We're at the end, you can clearly see, because the war dictates that. War is out of control. Right? People are, people see what's coming, so the nation against nation, it's called the race war. Nation against nation war, right here in Babylon, you're going to have to deal with that war before you deal with World War III. Because Babylon the Great got their ass kicked out there on the battlefield, and they can't do anything about it, so they're going to bring that home and whoop on Jake's ass. What is that called? Jacob's trouble. Do you hear that ICE went right back to it and got right back to whooping Jake's ass? While simultaneously turning the lights out in Cuba? Most High said he's going to start at his house. That's what we see. What happened to them Haitians? It's going to be open season on Haitians here in a minute. Right? That's what Nicole Brown Simpson said. So lucky. Wisdom of Solomon 5. What's wrong with my apocrypha? Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. That happened. Right? We're standing out here right now. Now listen to what is said next. When they see it, when they see what? Well, what came before when they see it? Us standing on our feet. So that's what they're going to be troubled. See, it says, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they look for. When you read that, it's saying two things. It's saying, when they see it, when they see what? When they see us standing on our feet, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Stop. They scared. Terrible. They shall be troubled with terrible fear. What is that setting up? This race war. And you see it. I mean, you niggas are the standing up. You're standing on your feet and saying what? We're the Israelites. What? Ah, we was kids, right? They're scared as fuck, and they're scared. Now we read on. Okay? What are we saying? We're the Israelites. And those are the angels. They look like us, coming for us, right? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. When they see what? Us standing upon our feet. What does that mean? It tells you that we're mad. Okay? Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Coming back from, nigger, look at my shoe. Don't you look up at me. Those days are gone. Now we're looking at a nigga straight in his eye, right? Mad. When they see that, they're gonna be scared. See that whole nigger look down and I'm gonna run up and Karen thing. Niggas ain't having that no more. So that's that great boldness, standing on their feet. Now it starts with us out here pushing this word, but Jake right now is not having that shit no more. They standing and saying, nah, you can catch them hands or you can get that work. You get straightened out here. The and shall be amazed at what? The strangeness. What is the strangeness? That goes into the chariots. The fear goes to us making a stand boldly right? Not fearfully, but boldly making a stand. They're scared of that, but they're amazed at the chariots, right? So far beyond all that they look like. I can't believe that. I can't. Right? And it goes on and says, so far beyond all that they look for. Wisdom of Solomon 5:3. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he, whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of. So they're going to be astonished, like, damn, what does this mean? We fucked up. But we fucked up bad. And they're getting there. You know what I see? And I'm going to play this thing. I see Ham going ham on, black people, white people, black people, Ham, you know what you're doing. You know you hate Jake. You know Jake all you got to do is say black people. Ham is like, yeah, we can play these niggas one more time on the way out. No, Ham, it was you in the triangle, right? It was Ishmael. We know about you. And about you, Ham. So Ham is capitalizing. See, Nigerian scam artists on the phone, these motherfuckers are brilliant, right? So right now, Ham, his new thing is acting like they don't know who we are, and we're all black people. And they making money off of the fight between Jacob and Esau. And they know that we're Jacob. Ham is cashing in right now, starting a fight. We're gonna start, black people did it, white people did it. Ham, you about to get it, Ham. You are about to get it, Ham. That shit keeps coming up in my feed. Like, okay, Ham. I'm gonna play. Just how shit is spiraling out of control. This is Secular Talk with Kyle Kulinski. Whom I like Kyle Kulinski, by the way. But I'm gonna play this. It's only 4 minutes, but listen just to the state of affairs. Say even more evils are gonna grow upon the earth. That's what's going on. More evils are growing upon the earth. Here's Kyle. Salaki, let me get a commercial here.
What did I say to you guys the other day? I said the horrors that you wake up to in the Trump regime are unparalleled. You wake up and you scroll social media and you're like, wait, what? What the fuck happened? What are we talking about? We got another example of that. So I just wake up and I scroll. The very first thing I see is an Aaron Rupar post. He shows Trump over on Live Social, and Trump says this, ready? 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Fuck.
With thousands of...
Salaki. Come on.
More to immediately follow. Should the Iranian government act on its threat, pronounced in many corners of the globe, to assassinate or attempt to assassinate the sitting president of the United States of America, in this case, me, orders have been given, and the U.S. military is ready, willing, and able, for a 1-year period of time, subject to extension, to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. Then he says, praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. So a couple things on this. Number one, praise be to Allah is 100% because him and his cronies placed bets that he was going to say Allah within the next week or month or whatever. And so they just made a smooth however many millions of dollars that they made.
Watch how many
obvious
times he
insider
says
trading, most
threat.
obvious insider trading.
Watch when he
I've ever
says
seen in my
threat.
life, okay.
Threat.
Point number two is, and gotta give credit to Crystal for this one, because when I read this to her, her initial reaction was, oh, okay, so that means all Israel would have to do is assassinate Trump and then they get their way.
Hilarious.
Right? That's what that means. All Israel would have to do is assassinate Trump, and then they get their way. Because, as you all know, they want permanent war. They want endless war. They want Iran to be a failed state. And so they don't even have the same goal as Trump. Trump theoretically wants to do regime change and put in a puppet and then steal all their oil and their natural resources. That's what he wants to do. He wants to do to Iran what he did to Venezuela. What the Israelis want is let's make it a failed state and we control the whole Middle East. That's the idea. And that means, people fighting in the streets. That means open slave markets like Libya. That means just removing them as a regional player. That's what it means. And so, yet again, wake up to something like this. And Aaron Rupar, I want to read you what he said too. He says, "This is total insanity. Words fail to explain how anyone, let alone a plurality of voters, thought giving an obviously demented person control of the most powerful government in the world was a good idea. We will be lucky to come out of the other side alive." I mean, what else is there to say, right? It's just crazy to me that there hasn't been more movement to actually oust this guy. We're back to the threats of civilizational annihilation. We're back to those. We're back to effective nuclear threats. And you got to remember, we're dealing with a guy who his brain is not there anymore. It's not functioning anymore. You had Mitt Romney the other day was saying your brain shrinks 20% when you get above 80 years old. And on top of that, you have the family history of Alzheimer's. You have the evidence of Alzheimer's. You have the physical symptoms, the hand rotting away, the neck rotting away, the signs of congestive heart failure, the signs of mini strokes. We're letting somebody who's not going to survive another 2 years decide the future fate of humanity. And as I told you, with malignant narcissists, they don't care if they want to take you with them. They don't want the world to exist without them. Do you understand that? Oh my days. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Have a great day.
Well, there it is. All right. So, what did Kyle say? Where could we go with what Kyle just said? This is Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 19. Yeah? Yeah? Isaiah, yeah? Let's start at the top. Isaiah 19:1. The doom of Egypt, which is talking about Babylon the Great, which is talking about this place right here. Shalom, who's that? Muslim sister. All right, you've marked yourself there. Isaiah 19:1, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. It's talking about right here in Babylon. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. You'll lose your damn mind when you see them chariots. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. There's your race war right there. Class war. General war in Babylon. Nation against nation in Babylon. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. They shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charms. That applies to Nero Caesar too, the cruel lord. He's losing his damn mind. And the Most High is controlling it like he did Nebuchadnezzar, like he did Pharaoh. What does it mean that? And God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh's heart is his mind. To harden it means I'm going to control you. I'm going to make you go hard. whatever I want you to do. I'm gonna control your mind. It's not MK Ultra, it's MK Supreme. Okay? M Mind K Control from Germany. Kontrolle. And here's the point. Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians, meaning the Americans, will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts. What does that mean? That means that when the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, hardened Pharaoh's heart, he's going to do that to Donald J. Trump. Not going to be hard because there's not a lot going on up there with all that high IQ bullshit. Which means you're dumb as a fucking box of... let's compare Trump and Obama, who is a Hamite, by the way, but let's compare them anyway. Right? Trump is a whole clown next to Obama, and Obama's a whole piece of shit. So what do you got? Right? Shitty clowns. In this kingdom. A bunch of goddamn shitty clowns. What did the Most High say he was going to do? Ride on a swift cloud. You come into Egypt, it's a pack of dogs. Wild dogs. Ooh. Ooh. Uh-oh. This is red. They might run up. This happens down here. They look, oh, you know what? This is that guy who controls those dogs. This man walks with a basket. He's yeah, these dogs are trained, so they're not gonna fuck with me. They would fuck with. See, those dogs go out. They're like 30 yards ahead of him. Those are mean dogs. See, those dogs. He controls those dogs. I see him. There's 4 dogs. You only got 4 right now. He's in full control of these dogs. And what they do is they go out before him, and they're like hunting, and he's controlling them from the back. And I see him walk by my house, right? He come by, and the dogs come by first. I'm like, here come these dogs. And the dogs know exactly what they're doing. They're hunting, and they're responding to him. He's controlling them. They can get all the way out before him. That's crazy. See, this is what's coming. I see that guy all the time. He's controlling those dogs. Those dogs are hunting, and they're dangerous, you could tell. That's why I'm like, oh shit, I might have to defend myself. I'm sure that if he wanted those dogs, he could control them, he could send them right up on me, and they would attack me. I'm positive. I can see how they're moving. Like a well-controlled team. That's scary as hell. Anyway, Slovakia. Slovakia. Gotta be on post. When you're a one-man camp, right? You gotta be on post. You gotta be on post, you gotta read, you gotta speak, right? And you gotta see shit. And shoot, this is coming up on 18 years, right? Kind of know the terrain, you know what's going on, you know. Kind of know the area. You know what doesn't happen. And I'm like, look at those dogs. And then when I saw this guy, I'm like, oh, I know who that is. Which now I'm even more afraid. I'm not, because he would have to train them on me. But that's a dangerous situation. That dude's gonna do well when all hell breaks loose. Except for dogs getting gunned down. But here we are, right? moving into the worst time ever. And yeah, my servants shall eat, my servants shall drink, my servants shall want for nothing. That doesn't mean your head is resting on a pillow. It means you're barely gonna make it. There's one more. There's one right here. Revelation 11 to 12. The righteous scarcely be saved. That's one. And then there's this. Revelation 11 and 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted. And gave glory to the power of heaven. Why were they affrighted? They thought they was going to die. They scarcely made it. What does that mean? That means that when you're out there being even as a pilgrim, you're going to fucking scarcely make it. You're going to think you're going to die at every corner, just like everybody else. While they're dying, you're going to fucking scarcely make it. You're barely fucking going to make it. You're going to get your ass handed to you, right? And then you're going to crawl over the finish line and praise Yahweh Shemel Shah. You're running up on me. About to close the camp anyways. Anyway, so Revelation 13 and 16. They're not coming over here. Revelation 13, 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Do not take the mark of the beast. That's what it is. That's the mark of the beast. What is it? The RFID microchip. Don't take it. And get ready to not take it. How? By being a pilgrim, right? And enduring until the end. It starts with don't let nobody put a microchip in your forehead. Now get out there and survive. Be even as a pilgrim, right? And do what it takes to survive until the chariots come. In a nutshell. And use the handbook. Walk in the Spirit. If you hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way," walk ye in it. All right, so anyway, that's pretty much it. Revelation 3 and 10. So we're coming up on the hour of temptation. Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, so That's when it's going to get real hard, when they force that chip. It's going to get real hard. Don't take that motherfucker, and stay strong. You're almost out of there. So you start getting yourself ready for that. Start getting yourself ready to walk in the spirit, right? No matter what, and scarcely make it. You got to scarcely make it up in this motherfucker, right? How are the elect going to make it? Scarcely. So you better wrap your head around scarcely. It already happened. How did it happen? Well, they barely made it. Okay, so get ready to barely make it. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Philippians 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right? You got to endure until the end. All right, so we'll go ahead and close the camp. With that, we pray that the elect are edified, you brothers and few sisters who face the east. Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone, even the elder that came before them, who taught us his truth. Shalom and salutation to all the brothers pushing the word of truth and the sincerity of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, right? Shalom. Shalom, shalom.